I had an epiphany as a result of my experiences during 9/11.
Today, we have our very first international guest. It is my dear friend, David Vando, my former Shakespeare professor from New York City. He's a lifelong New Yorker, has a master's in playwright from Columbia University, and worked 20 years at the Metropolitan Opera, and was always such a positive source of energy. And I'm very, very glad we have him on today because we will need one of his famous prep talks. Hi, David. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Carl. How are you in Germany?
We're doing well, but I heard you've been in isolation now for how long?
Well, New York has been in isolation for almost a week. I began isolation on my own uh, over 10 days ago, almost 2 weeks.
And the last time you were tested in such an extreme, I was very fortunate to hear that story firsthand at our graduation. The last one of those times was during 9/11, and obviously people don't know this, but your apartment is very close to the World Trade Center.
I had an epiphany as a result of my experiences during 9/11. It was about almost 3 months later when it was announced that the residents of Battery Park City, living in buildings where there had not been any structural damage done, would be allowed to return to their apartments if they so desired.
This was after 3 months of not
Yes,
stepping back into your apartment, only for those one time 15 minutes. You've been
yes,
completely wow.
yeah. And I had made a vow to myself that the first day I could go back to my apartment, I would go back. I was not going to be intimidated, and I was not going to live in fear. So I went up to my apartment, and the first thing I did when I opened the door was to go to my music system and start playing my music. I promised myself that would be the first thing I would do when I went home, was to play my favorite music, because music plays such an important part in my life, as all the arts do, obviously. They're my passion. And of course, music and art are anathema to terrorists. Art and truth have no meaning to them because they're blinded with hate. So I played a lot of music. And ultimately, I played Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Now, that has a very special meaning to me because I wrote a play about the last 10 years of the life of Beethoven called Eroica. And it deals with Beethoven's struggle to come up with a solution for the fourth movement of the Ninth Symphony. For 10 years, the man struggled to come up with a solution. And as he did, he became increasingly deaf. So by the time he came up for the solution to take Schiller's poem Ode to Joy and musicalize it for a full chorus and ensemble, something that had never been done before, as we all know, in a symphony, the man was completely deaf and never heard his masterpiece. Now, if that is an example of passion, I don't know what is. So when it came to the glorious ending, of the fourth movement, I pushed open my windows overlooking the Hudson River, turned up my music system as loudly as I could, and just blasted Beethoven over the deadly silence below. And as I did, and looked across the river over to the Statue of Liberty, as I did so many hundreds of times in the past, I saw this little white dove fly by my window. Because then I realized that hope is eternal.